it's MK and I am back for part 2 of this kit conspiracy layout. Now this was actually supposed to be layout number 3, and because it was so huge, I decided to make it a two-parter. So this is layout 3 part 2, and I'm going to be working on the 4 6x12 flops that are on top of my 12x12 pages that I did yesterday. So I pulled out all of my same pieces of paper, and I'm only going to be using 2 white cardstocks because I'm going to use the front and the back of both of them. That way I don't have a whole lot of bulk within those 6x12 page protectors. So here are the pages or the papers that I will be being able to play with today, and this is pretty much what I have left of this entire kit. So I'm just going to start with one 6x12 and kind of work it as if it was just a 12x12 layout, but I'm going to be doing both sides of it with all of these photos. So my idea here was to showcase each of my friends that are feeding the cows. So for this page right here, I have Janet and Maureen. We call her Mo. So if I say Mo, that's who I'm talking about. So I'm sorry about that. If I catch myself, like I don't remember her name. I remember her name. I just don't know if I should call her Maureen on the video or if I should call her Mo. So I'm not really sure. But I wanted to give each of my friends their own page. And I thought, well, if I give them their own like 12x12 page, that's going to be a huge album. And then, like I said, I came across these gems of a page protector, and it was perfect. They were absolutely what I was looking for. Okay, so to continue the same technique around all of my layouts, I'm just taking my stencil and randomly putting ink in, in and around where they need to go, but I need to do it on both sides. Now, I have to say, because I didn't clean my desk and I do smear ink over the edge because I want the stencil to go off the page. I do have that brown on my glass mat, and this ink does not dry very fast. So I do end up getting smears and smudges where I don't want them, but because of the fact that I do end up inking my edges and it's kind of a grungy look. Okay, vintagey. Let's just use the word, you guys. It does, hide all that stuff. I don't have to sit there and find an embellishment for every little thumbprint. It hides it really well. So what I did was I just went around both sides. That way when you do the flap, the technique is on both sides, and mostly the photos and the papers are going to be covering up what didn't get inked, right? Or stenciled. Also too, off camera, I cut my photos down, mostly to 4x4s. And then of course, the 2 larger photos, I believe are 5 or 5.5. I think there's 2 different sizes going on there. So I'm not too worried about whether or not this is going to look like a cohesive single page layout. That's not the look I'm going for, because I want, I want my friends to have each their own page. So it's just going to be a small little, all the photos, little paper, and a little embellishment. That's it per page. And then when I do the other 6x12 pages on the other side of these 2, I will actually bring in my 12x12 because I want that to be cohesive. I want that to at least look like I had some sort of planning going on instead of just randomness. So again, I cut out the fact that I'm cutting photo mats. It's all the same. I measure twice, cut once, that sort of thing. It takes me forever to cut photo mats, you guys. So I just cut it out of my process videos entirely because it's all the same. And when I do go and end up doing the other side, the other 12x12 or 6x12 pages for my other page protector, I cut all this part out because it is identical. I use the exact same paper, exactly how I'm going to use it on this side. I cut my photos down. I use the exact same photo mats. So for that layout, I do cut corners and don't show you guys the exact same process. This video was, I think I recorded almost 3 hours worth because it was just that much content. Doing it multiple times. I'm technically doing 4 12x12 layouts. anyways, back to the layout. I took this, it almost looks like wallpaper, you guys, but it's aqua stripes with little apples inside the little stripes. And so I took that and ran it down the center of my layout. I don't see it as the center of my layout. I see it as the edge of each page, right? So down the right edge of one page and the left edge of the other page, even though when I put the two pages together, it is in the center. So I am having a little brain moment, and not knowing what to do next, I decided that I'm going to move on to the other side. So I've got all my photos glued down and my paper glued down on the other side, the back side that I just did. So I flipped it over and thought, you know what, I'm just going to move on to what I have, what I want to do on the inside first. And when it comes to a brain blockage like that, it's because of the fact that I don't want, and I can't really say accidentally, but I don't want to use an embellishment that would have looked better somewhere else, right? I struggle with that so much, and I think it's because of the fact that I have too much to work with. How can you say that? How can you sit there and go, well, my golly, I just got way too much? Well, yes, my whole craft room is way too much, but when I put together pieces for a page, technically, when I did all of these pages, I just looked at all of the embellishments as a whole instead of grouping them together like I normally do. Normally, my process is taking all those embellishments and separating them out to what I feel like will work well together, and I did not do that with this process. I think I was just so excited to start scrapbooking these photos because they make me so happy that I didn't follow my own process that helps me not struggle with what embellishment would look better with this grouping of embellishments. And so it was my own process that I skipped. It was my own fault that this happened to me, which is fine. I just didn't realize what I was doing, in all honesty. And now that the layouts are all done and over with, it's neither here nor there. But I just have to say that that's why I'm so wishy-washy on what do I do, what do I use, is because I have, look at this tray. I have this huge pile of stuff that I am going through, and normally it's not this big. Normally it's 5 or 6 extra things and not 25 or 6 extra things. So yeah, this is not my normal process. My normal process is I sort through all of the embellishments. I know I'm going to plan, so let's say 6 or 7 layouts, and then I organize my embellishments in that way. Yes, I am that OCD, you guys. I really, really am. But I feel like that's part of my process. I feel like that's how I scrapbook. That's what makes it fun, is organizing the stuff, touching the stuff, and putting it together the way that it is supposed to go. So anyways, you guys, have I mentioned at all that Janet is also playing Kit Conspiracy with me? It is a series that her and I, it's a brainchild that we came up with last year, and we decided to do it again this year because we had so much fun. I enjoy crushing these kits, by the way. It is such a wonderful feeling to have that paper used up and actually in a project or several projects, and not have to worry about, gosh, I wish I would have used this paper or anything like that. It just feels so good to have this paper used up. And so Janet and I decided to do it again. So be sure to check out her channel over across the way, at Galaxy Girl Creations, and her link will be down below as well. So that way you can check out her channel after you've finished watching this ever so long video. But yeah, definitely go check out what she is doing, because we are scrapbooking the exact same photos with the exact same collection. Now, I don't know if she has this exact set of photos, like she's doing these exact photos for today as well, but it's the same event photos. So we all went to a scrapbook retreat, and so Janet and I have the same photos because before everybody went home, we shared all of our photos with one another. And so I have Mo's photos, and I have Janet's photos, and I have Janae's photos. I think I have Lynn's photos. I'm not really sure. And all that stuff. So we're doing the same thing, which is so much fun, you guys. And this is so fun. Like her layout yesterday was just awesome. I would have never thought to do the other retreat photos using this paper collection. I just planned on using them for feeding baby cows. Seriously, that was all that I had planned and all that I focused on. So I was super excited to see that she is focusing on other layouts or the other photos for the retreat. So anywho's, I decided to finally finish the other side, and I apologize if I am flopping the pages a little bit too much, but it is my process. Like I said, I didn't follow my normal process, and so I have to work through it some way, shape, or form. I don't even know why I did not follow my own process. It was just something that I did not do. And I can clearly tell the difference because I'm not as fast when I don't follow my own process. So anyways, I'm just using up some of the extra paper strips that I had from previous projects or from the 12 by or the double page layout I did yesterday. Just trying to do all of this, trying to bring in like embellishments, but not too much like I love this yellow paper, you guys. It was one of my favorite papers brought in, from the collection. It is just a beautiful color. It is just the right orange, or it's not orange. Oh my god, it is just the right yellow for me. I love this yellow. It's like a dirty yellow. Oh my gosh, so much fun. Just going through what I have, I decided to put a chicken in a barrel. I really, really did, because I have 3 of those images, and they're not all the same. Like this one here happens to have a little flower and a little saying down at the very bottom. So it's like a cute little cluster. I covered up some of the flower because honestly, I don't have that pink, and it is pink anywhere else. In fact, I didn't even notice any other pink in this collection. So I thought it was really random that pink flower, unless I chose to ignore it. I probably did. That's on me. But yeah, I decided to cover it up with the word sweet that I cut off of Sweet Home. And I can save the word home and use it for something else. But I just wanted to use the word sweet, and then whatever it says, I think it says Farm Fresh down at the bottom. But yeah, that pink flower is just, it just didn't go with this collection. It was weird. Very weird. In fact, I think on the first layout, there was a random blue that I didn't feel like it went with this collection either. I ended up covering that up too. So, no big deal. And then, of course, this flower over on the right-hand side on Janet's layout, I don't even know if there's any more of those flowers either. It just seems so random that some of the stuff was, well, I don't remember these, so let's just use it here. Yep, one and done. I like those, but it was just really weird. I'm also using the hearts that look like they're a little on the collage side. So here is Mo's layout, and on the other side are photos, but this is her feeding the cow, and then of course her petting the cow after, it's almost like we got rewarded by petting the cute little cows, seriously. And then this is Janet with Janie in the background. Super cute. Her cow was standing in its own drinking water. And then those were the other cows that we had in the pins with us as well. And then the little baby cows are in their own separate pins. So there's cows of all different ages at this farm. It was so cool. All right, like I said, I skipped the process entirely for this second set of 6x12s because it's the same. I use the stencil around the edges. I'm using the same photo, or not the same photos, but the same wallpaper looking paper, and putting it on, in the center, if you look at it as a 12x12, just laying it down on the center. And then I had these polka dot pieces from layout number 2. And I wasn't sure if I wanted to put them in or not, but the photo really covers it up a lot. So I thought, no, I'm going to leave those out. We'll figure something else out. And then I really wanted to use this wreath. It just says humble and kind, because Janie is super humble and kind. I tried to use it on the layout where Janet was taking a selfie with a cow, but I wished it was flipped, like the opposite direction, and it wasn't, so it didn't work out, but it does work out on Janie's photos. I just have to, and that Mongo Humongo flower, yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to use that one. Off camera, in my spare time, I did take and fussy cut around the edges of all of my die cuts, so that way I don't have to do it on camera ever again for this collection, because it just was too much and I just took the time. Oh, there is that random flower. It's not a one and done. It's just microscopic right there. Huh. Sorry, you guys. Sometimes I don't see the embellishments until they're on camera. Isn't that weird? How you guys don't notice? I don't notice certain things until I'm actually watching it myself. That's weird. Bringing in another chicken because there's several chickens in this collection because, you know, it's a farm animal. I brought in a lamb because that's how I see Janie is the sweet, humble, and kind little lamb that she is, even though she's way more adventurous than probably me and Janet and Janae all put together. Oh my gosh, this gal, she does so much stuff. She's phenomenal. So I'm going to take my my finger and scuff up the edges because these scraps of paper are just a little on the too small for me side in order to do the, you know, the distress tool. I'm also trying to figure out, because I realized that I had both embellishments down at the bottom and I didn't want them down at the bottom. So I decided to flip Janie's photos, and that wreath fits in there a lot better than the way that I originally had the photos. So I was really happy about that. And also down on Lynn's page, she has, well, I messed up on the stencil and went overboard. So I had a really, really dark spot. And that is what I'm trying to cover up using that journaling spot and the chicken that has absolutely nothing. I cannot say that in no way, shape, or form is that a good representation of Lynn. It is not. She was definitely a let's go do this, feed the cow guru. It was awesome. She was all for it. So yeah, chicken is definitely not a good representation, but I do like how it looks. I enjoyed, you know, that image on my page. It just suits the farm look going on. I do want to bring in a few more of these collaged hearts, just to bring that, bring at least one element from the other 6x12 pages over and use them as the same. Trying to adjust the lamb. It looks like it's a little crooked. I will fix that just later. For Lynn and Janie's photos, I definitely cut those all in 4x4s. I'm not sure about the other side though. The other side I believe is Janae, but I can't remember what's on the other side. Huh. I'll know here in a minute. Actually, no. The other side is Brooke, because she had 2 more cows to feed, and they were not as little as the ones that we fed, so she feeds them outside of the pens. So she had 2 more cows to feed, and then, yeah, we were just visiting with her while she finished feeding the final 2 cows. That's what it was. So yes. Fixed my lamb. Yay. And I did use I used 2 of the same peaches, but for some reason they were different colors. One of them was the branding strip and the other one was actually from the paper. And the branding strip was actually darker than the paper itself. So that's why it looked like 2 different peaches. So for Brooke and Janae's, I decided to move them away from the center of my 12x12 layout instead of put them up against like I did on the other side. Because of where Janae's is on the right, I want to have that extra paper that I ripped off from the windmill collage. And so I went off camera and inked it all up and scuffed up the edges and did all that good stuff that I normally do. And then it just looks like a continuation, even though some of the pieces are cut off and whatnot. There is going to be that gap, you know, the normal page protector gap in there. So I'm not too worried about the fact that it doesn't match. But yeah, I'm definitely going to use that piece of paper because I feel like it's great going across, and especially with it being collaged like that. So I'm going to go ahead and glue those photos down and then figure out what it is that I'm going to be doing for embellishments. I really wanted to use that word happy. Janae was mostly our photographer. She mostly took all of the pictures. I do know that, you know, we were all click happy, But as for me, I was not. I was too much involved into the process of feeding the cows that I was grateful that Janae was a little more on the click happy side with her camera. So we had so much fun, you guys. So much fun. Now for Janae, her favorite color is blue, and so I really wanted to bring over those blue tulips. I tried to bring in several of the blue tulips, but they just weren't working. I really wanted to bring in the Be Grateful and the blue butterfly, but that just was not working because I wanted to use the word happy. Well, I couldn't find a good base to go behind the word happy, because what I have there now is just that little peach piece, and the happy was peach. And so, like I said, I try a whole bunch of different elements for this layout. And I do have to say right now that I apologize for not showing you the left side, the 6x12 on the left. I cut it out because I never moved my layout over for you to see what it is that I'm doing. I do show you close-ups, but I totally did not even record it. All you see is my hand, just my arm across the page doing the left side. And you don't get to see how I decorate Brooke's photos at all. And I apologize about that. It just was one of those things that I thought I was in camera and I never looked up to see if I was. All right, so finishing off Janae's page with just a cute little butterfly, and I did find a cute little Brad and whatnot. So here are the close-ups. Like I said, I'm very super sorry that you did not get to see this left-hand side right here. I just took the foam cows, stacked animals, and used them on the chicken wire cut-apart card to cover up a chicken, and then added a few more other scraps and things. Here is Lynn's side. And that was Janae's side on the other side that I talked all the way through. I apologize. And this one is Janie's side. I'm super happy to be able to have a single layout for each of my friends. And then it wasn't so extensive as a 12x12. I really am glad to be able to have that. So I wanted to show you guys all the pieces side by side. And this is how it's going to look in my album. And then when you pick it up and flip it, it will look just like this. Now I didn't put the 6x12s in their pockets just yet. I really wanted to avoid the glare, but this is what all of the pages will look like within the album. Again, check out Janet's channel and see how she is scrapbooking and using these these papers for today. Also too, I wanted to let you know that all the links down below, I guess I'm supposed to say this in all the videos, but all the links down below are affiliate links. So if you click on them and you actually make a purchase, I do get a very small commission off of that, and every little bit helps. So thank you so much if you do click on them and make a purchase. But I tried to put in all the links to all of this paper line that is still available for purchase, because I'm having a blast using it. I love the color scheme of it. And so yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys in case you guys are looking for these papers as well. All right, thank you so much, and I will check y'all later. Bye.